The Dentalpreneur Podcast. Okay, doctor, it's time to put down that handpiece. You're listening to the show dedicated to helping dentists get their lives back. It's time to decrease your stress, increase your profitability, and regain your passion. Now introducing your host, Dr. Mark Costas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dentalpreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mark Costas. All right, guys, I'm super thrilled today to be welcoming back a repeat guest, and that is my friend, Dr. Brady Smith. A little bit about Brady. Brady runs two successful practices in Washington State and a nonprofit called the Halo Dental Network, which is dedicated to bringing comprehensive care to people provided by dentists in their own community. He has a large social media following of over 200,000 followers across the platform. Welcome to the podcast, my friend. What's going on, dude?
Dude, I am stoked to be here talking to you, man. I am excited to catch up with you. I know you're up to some really cool stuff, and I kind of that's what I originally reached out to you to talk to you about. I was like, I just want to know the next chapter in Mark Costas' life because it lines up with something that's important to me, which is philanthropy and giving back and you know, kind of, you mentioned to me in our pre-chat that you got the bug, and I'd like to know more about you getting the bug and how that happened.
Yeah, man. So you may or may not know that I sold my last 4 practices less than a month ago.
I heard that.
I retired from clinical dentistry. So I tell people that I went from 3 full-time jobs to 2 full-time jobs because I still have DSN and DSI. But this next chapter of my life, and this has kind of been a long time coming, I really want to focus more on, charitable dentistry, missionary work. My son and I, for more than a handful of years, have been going to the Dominican Republic together, my oldest son, and doing a yearly trip there. I always fly out of that airport feeling more revived and renewed and grateful for all the things that I have in my life every single year that we do it. It's my favorite week of the year. So gosh, it's been almost 18 months now. We started the paperwork for our 501c3. So we have our own official foundation / charitable organization. So now we can kind of accept donations and, put a plan together. We have an operating board that's in place. And my vision is to have fixed clinics that people could rotate through. Students and practicing dentists could rotate through to deliver dental care to people that don't have access in third world countries. So
that's amazing, man. Is there a name for this yet?
Yeah, it's called Smile Outreach International. Our website's going up. We have a logo. We're pretty legit, man. Except for we haven't done one yet.
You're like a real thing and everything.
I'm
dude.
like a real thing. I have like a business card, dude. Look at me. Yeah, but
dude, that's really cool, man. And you gave me a lot of information in the pre-chat as well. But man, I just think it's so cool because you've accomplished so much, and I think a lot of people look up to you. And then to kind of give that all up and kind of still focus on this aspect, I think that is super telling of like where personal fulfillment comes from, And so as a person, it's just a close thing to my heart too, is like just the philanthropic giving back as a part of like, man, it just makes my life better. It's just like when you get back on that plane and you leave and you say it's the best week of your whole year, dude, I think there's something to that because, and just dentists just get swamped with the real life, practical life, that it just is something that doesn't take priority in a lot of people's day to day. And if it did, I think it would change people's mentality a lot.
Oh, I totally agree with you. You were brought on my radar in the first place because of your charitable organization. That's why I had you on the podcast in the first place. But more recently than that, and I don't want to distract too much from the great works that you do, but I probably got a dozen people send me the most recent Instagram clip that you had that has gone viral about the flossing situation. You want to explain the most recent viral Instagram post that you put up?
Now, this is going to sound like a humble brag, Mark, but I got to ask you, you got to be specific which viral video, because I've had a number of them lately.
Yeah,
I don't want to sound like I'm bragging too much, but which one was the flossing one?
The flossing one where there was actually some underwear floss that was creeping up above your scrubs.
Oh, you're going to let me plug my merchandise, dude. This is great.
Oh, it's real merch. Oh, dude,
this is a great distraction from the cause, and it actually helps the cause. Listen, here's the thing: charitable service is not the sexiest idea to sell.
It's
and
not.
You're going to run into this problem, Mark. And when you do, you call me. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you fundraise. Okay.
Well, here's the phone call. So I'm teach me through example. So talk us through your last couple of viral videos.
You got to give people products. You got to give people something to pay attention to. All right.
Yeah.
This is sales 101. This is sales 101. You got to bait and switch. You got to get them. You got to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Which I feel like listen, I'm one of 8 children. Getting attention is my superpower. All right. Like just getting attention from people. And so I've used my power for good and not for evil on social media.
Yeah.
And there was I believe the exact phrasing on the back of I was made a thong. There was a thong that was made for me. I did ask for it to be made. I ordered it. And it says floss bitch on the back of my thong. And I wore it to work one day. And there was some candid video that was taken where it was definitely exposed. And so it super went viral on TikTok and Instagram. And we put in some really cool music. I made a few videos out of it. But what we do is we try to get people's attention and then try to switch their focus to the charitable aspect of what we do, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all part of the plan, man. You got to get people's attention. You got to get their attention with one thing, and then you got to switch that attention to what you really want their attention to be on, which would be the charitable stuff, right? Yeah. So I want everyone to know about Halo Dental Network. Am I willing to wear, a man thong that says floss bitch on it to do that? Yes, I am willing to do that. That's in my wheelhouse. Of course I'll do that.
You're so selfless. Selfless giver.
Do way more. Yeah, absolutely. That was a fun one. Some of this attention is not always good attention. There are people who have issues with that.
Yeah.
Might feel it's inappropriate. I don't know. But yeah, social media is fun, and I've used it as a way to advance. I don't know if you know, do you know who Patrick Bet David is?
Of course, yes. PDB.
So I was involved in a mastermind with him. He ran it, and I was in there for a few months, and I had one-on-one calls with him. And when we chatted, it was at his suggestion that I started social media following, utilizing my talents to gain access or gain attention for the nonprofit. And it was at his suggestion, which I consider his opinion and his counsel to be, prophetic.
Yep.
To get more attention on the nonprofit, I should go on social media and have a humorous or entertaining or educational aspect to what I do to get more attention, get people to pay attention more to the nonprofit side of the things I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And it's worked out fantastically. And I couldn't be more grateful for, mentors like him that helped me, try to accomplish my goals, which is to basically invade the entire dental profession with the idea that at some point you should give back to what you're, and that you receive something from that gives you energy to keep doing what you're doing, because man, the monotony of what we do, it's difficult. And
it is
doing the charitable type stuff that we do just helps people, and it helps the dentist more than anything, in my experience.
I totally agree. I would consider myself a novice on social media, and I have a novice size social media following, but I definitely think that it can be a tool used for good, for sure. I do think that you are definitely onto something, and you and I spoke about this last time you were on the podcast, and that is, giving back and being able to find ways to remind yourself of why we got involved in the profession in the first place, and the true gift that we have in the education and the skill set that we have. That's what's so great about missionary and charitable dentistry, it's a very, very good reminder of that. When we're not doing it, amongst, 3 hygiene checks every single hour and trying to stay on time with 4 different columns and dealing with, people that have a lot of affluence and have very, very high and unrealistic standards. Those are the sorts of things that burn us out in our profession and make us not love coming to work. But if every once in a while you break that up with a charitable case and you get a big hug and lots of tears and you change somebody's life, that's a shift in mindset for sure. And it would be for anybody.
Dude, it's like a runner's high or any other kind of high. It's like it's a feeling that when you have it, you chase it because it feels so good. It makes you feel, it's almost, I have a presentation. I'll be speaking at Thrive Live in May in Las Vegas.
I'll be there too. I'll be speaking there too. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I'll see you there.
Yes.
But one thing that I've started to kind of talk about, that I think is super important is I call it the selfish act of giving. And it's not a typo. It's supposed to be selfish, not selfless, because what you get in return for giving is so rewarding in so many ways. I could go and tell you like how, and one of the things I present is like my practice has grown because of the word of mouth from people who know. It's Simon Sinek talks about the why. People need to know why. People want to know why you do what you do. They don't want to know what you do. They want to know why you do it.
Right.
And it's so hard to differentiate yourself from other dentists. We're just all the same to most non-dentists. And so charitable service is something that really sets you apart because it's really not done too often. But once you do charitable service, man, you got cheerleaders for life and patients. And you don't have to do big things. You don't have to do like full mouth restorations and all on fours on every single person. You can pull a tooth out for free for somebody who's in need. And us dentists, we have access to people all the time and who are in need of our help and can't afford it. And so we have this never-ending pool of people to choose from. And on top of that, we are our own gatekeepers, which is not something that most medical doctors can say. Most medical doctors, they don't completely own their services in the way that dentists do, so right? True. We own our talents and skills. I always talk about whoever owns the cotton rolls calls the shots, right? So most dentists, we own the cotton rolls. Which means we get to, what I'm saying by that is like, we get to make the determination of what we get to do and who gets what we want to give. We are the gatekeepers. And so all we have to do is say yes to somebody, and it doesn't even move the needle for us. Pulling a tooth out, even doing a crown. Use the example of a crown, a very expensive procedure. Doing a free crown for someone doesn't move the needle for us very much, but it moves the needle for that person receiving it tremendously. So we can give a lot by giving kind of a little, but it has an amplified exponential effect on the person that we give it to when we decide to do that. And that's one of the coolest things about being a dentist. When people ask me, the coolest thing about being a dentist is like how much autonomy we truly have when we own our own business.
Yep, for sure. Oh my gosh. So much there. We do a free dental day, or we have historically. I don't own my practices anymore, but historically we did 2 free dental days. One was for the veterans. We did it around Veterans Day, November-ish, every single year, sometimes the week before or the week after, sometimes on the actual Veterans Day. So we do a Veterans Day open to any veteran, even if they have a current treatment plan in our office that has served before. We'll do a procedure for them, and it could be a crown, it could be a denture, it could be an implant. And then we also have a free dental day, which is mostly extractions, single fillings, and cleanings. And you are reminded very, very quickly, even within your own patient base, even if it's within your own community, how valuable your skill set is, because it's something that could literally take us 10 minutes is somebody's paycheck for their month or their entire living expenses for a month because they're on Social Security and they get $1,100 and we just did an $1,100 crown on their front tooth. So now they feel like they can go out and get a job and smile during an interview because they don't have a tooth that's broken in half, right? So it's a trickle down, and that affects their family. That affects, how they show up in society. There's so many positive things that we can do with our skill set outside of just chasing that production number every single week. Now that's important as well. Obviously, I'm a person that teaches systemization and profitability and efficiency. That's super important too. And being able to, have a great, fulfilling career, a big part of that is living up to your full potential as far as your earning potential as well. But I think we often forget. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think we often forget the power of what we know in our skill set.
Let me ask you a question. I have a curiosity that I'd like to present to you, because when you do these free dental days, in your experience, when you've done them, does that translate to, like, after the fact? Does it translate? Have you noticed that you get new patients out of it, or patients that maybe participated, scrounge up money later, and then come back to you to do the treatment? Because whenever I've done this, almost without fail, it always comes back as getting new patients out of it. Maybe there's a news story that picks up on it, or just something in the community was we advertise that you're doing a free day somewhere. People see that, and while they don't participate in the free day because maybe they don't need it, they see your office as a place that cares and is compassionate, and allows them to trust a little bit more than they would the average dentist that they know nothing about, because of those types of events. Have you noticed actual, I guess, for lack of a better word, an ROI, people coming in from those events, paying you, becoming actual customers from those free events?
Yeah, I call that those unintended side effects, right? So you're onto something here. There's so many unintended side effects to having these free dental days, right? So the first is, holy cow, we get a bump of 30 5-star, Google reviews from one day, and they're legitimate reviews, and they're not even solicited by me or the team. So that goes way up. So we have this unnatural spike on the day, the days following these free dental days. And then we have friends and family associated with the people that we did the free work on, because they just give such glowing reviews of how kind we were, how gentle we were, how there were no strings attached. We didn't ask them to do anything except for to take a picture afterwards. That's it. So yes, friends and family, that trickles in. And then free press as well, press releases that are done by, the local media, news stories that happen. All of that stuff has happened as unintended side effects to this. And then, of course, which is the most obvious, is that dopamine rush that you get from helping somebody and getting recognition and a hug because you've, improved somebody's life in a small or large way. So many different benefits to it.
Yeah. And and everyone I've talked to who does dental days or charitable work, every single one, I'm talking 100%, have shared those types of unintended consequences to the point where I feel like it's kind of baked into there as far as like, that's why I call it the selfish act of giving, because it's very, very difficult to do this type of work without getting some kind of, you can call it karma or whatever you want to call it. But the world has a way of making things even and paying you back for what you're doing for people. And that's been my experience. I mean, my word of mouth referral at my two practices is through the roof, because of what we do. And we talk about what we do. And that's a very difficult thing for a lot of dentists to think about, is talking about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you don't inspire people if you don't. Maybe you inspire yourself if you do something nice for someone. But if you do something nice for someone and everybody knows about it, then you inspire everybody.
Yep.
And that stuff just becomes contagious. And so, but that's my experience too, is that it's overwhelmingly in the interest of everybody to be involved in serving other people. And the blessings and even the monetary compensation that comes from that, it's like you can't really afford not to do that.
Agreed. What a great way to market your practice, by giving away stuff to deserving people that can't normally afford it.
I mean, I've told people, if you have $5,000 to spend on marketing, and crowns are $200 a piece, do 25 free crowns for people. And you get those, like you said, your friends and family of the people that you would give things to, that you would serve, would give you these glowing reviews. I mean, you just create cheerleaders, and that's what you want if you're building a practice, and or you're building any business, right? You want cheerleaders on the ground that are true believers in what you are doing and why you are doing it, that will tell other people, because those glowing reviews, I mean, they are very influential.
100%. So could you share with us, Brady, the genesis of the Halo Dental Network, how it was born, what it looks like today, and kind of the evolutionary process along the way? Because you really, really have quite a bit of notoriety now, and you've built up a ton of steam. So I'd love to hear about the humble beginnings, the original idea, and where we're at now.
Yeah. Now, I might have shared this on the first time I was with you. But I'll tell you I started doing free dental work as a way of getting back into what I was taught from my childhood was important, which was giving back and being charitable towards other people. This was something that you could call it conditioned, or I was taught growing up by my parents and my upbringing, and I wasn't doing it. And I was miserable my first 3 to 5 years of practicing as a dentist.
Really?
I was miserable. I told my wife I wanted. What's that?
That early, you came up with a distaste for it pretty early in your career, I guess.
I remember telling my wife, I must have been in my 3rd or 4th year of practicing. I graduated in 2009.
Okay.
3 or 4 years out, and money was not the problem. I was doing pretty well financially. I was happy with my income for sure, and I was still miserable, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled, and I felt like going to work was a chore, and I dreaded seeing certain people on my schedule. I had to get rid of doing dentures because I was terrible at doing dentures, and these people were always coming back on my schedule and ruining my life. And so, but in addition to that, I just didn't feel like anything was going my way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just couldn't get happy about going to going to work. And then I started doing free work for people. And the first people I started to target were comedians. I have friends who are aspiring comedians or trying to make it in the industry. And comedians are people that I got along with really well, that I felt a kinship towards. I've definitely always been kind of a cut up class clown type of guy. I maybe could have pursued a career in stand up in another life, but I'm a dentist instead. So I started doing free work for comedians, and I loved it. And I would look forward to those days. And those days when I knew someone was on my schedule and I was doing some, a big fun project for this person, and I was doing it for free, those were the days I looked forward to. And then I would finish, and I wouldn't have those days to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And so the only thing I could do was create that again, right? So find another mark, another person, another target to say, hey, can I help you out?
Satisfy your fix.
What's that?
To satisfy your fix.
That's right. Like an addict. That's exactly right. You like donuts, you got to eat a donut every day. Like, that's just what it was for me. I looked forward to that so much, and it made a difference in the way I felt about going to work and being at work. And so I chased that, and I would do bigger and bigger things. At first, I started off just doing a crown here and there, pulling a tooth out, small things that really weren't costing me a whole lot. Then I started doing bigger things that were kind of costing me a lot of money. And then I thought, well, what if I could do comprehensive treatment on individuals, full on everything, implants, all on fours, full mouth extraction, full mouth restoration. What if I could do that and it didn't cost me any money? Because then I told myself, well, I would do that all the time. And so that was the genesis of creating a 501c3 called the Halo Dental Network. And Halo stands for helping and leading others. Because what we like to do is we like to help other dentists and lead them into this idea of doing these comprehensive treatment plans and cases for people. So instead of, in contrast to a full day of dentistry, where you're doing like small things, extractions and fillings and cleanings, I wanted to do full comprehensive dentistry for people start to finish. And so we've gotten some really great partnerships with some great companies. We get all our implants donated. We got all lab supplies donated, so that now we can provide for dentists. If they want to do a free case for someone, not only will we help them vet and identify a deserving patient, we have a whole system in place for that too, but then all implants, all biologics, all lab fees, we can take care of that 100%, so that all the dentist has to do is donate their time and their skill. And they do that in the comfort of their own practice, which is awesome because their entire team can be involved. And the team building side of this is just a whole other aspect of getting your hygienist and your assistants and your front office involved in what you're doing, because that endears them to you also as an employer, as a leader in your own office, to let them know, this is why I do what I do. This is the reason why I'm doing it. I work all day so I can get to these moments and do that. I get better. I go to CE and I learn how to do surgery on people's mouths so that I can do this in this moment for this person at no cost to them. And then the real mind-blowing, just earth-shattering moment for me was a moment when I woke up and my phone was blowing up. And my phone was saying, Joe Rogan is talking about you. And I was like, that doesn't seem right at all. What are you talking about? And sure enough, a friend of a friend that I had done some dental work for, one of these comprehensive treatments before Halo ever existed, was on Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan looked me up and said, Brady Smith, you guys should go see this guy. If you're in Portland, in the Portland area, you should go see Brady Smith. And he named me by name and told people they should go see me at my dental office.
Wow, that's crazy.
Insane. And so what happened was a lot of people came to see me. I had gotten something in the way of marketing that money can't buy. There's no amount of money I could go and offer Joe Rogan and say, hey, how much would it cost for me to ask you to tell people to come see me in my dental practice? Tell everybody that I'm a great guy and they should come see me. I don't think there's a price tag on that. I mean, maybe there is, but it would be insane. So,
crazy.
Charitable service. I mean, the opportunities that flood into your life, professionally, personally, they are just literally immeasurable. And so that moment, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. That was my bug that I caught, was I'm committing my life to making sure this is always a part of it, always 100% of the time. And so most days now, I think I probably do something free for someone in my dental office. Probably every single shift, I'm doing something that's helpful for another person. But I'm a believer. This is what I believe in. So, and then there's been amazing moments. We partnered with so many people who hear about what we're doing, and they come to us and want to be involved in what we're up to. And then the biggest part of what we do is we make video content about what we do. We are blabbermouths about the good work that we are doing. And that is, like I said before, that's one of the hardest things to get dentists to like get on board with, is like, I want to do a case, but I don't really want to talk about it. I don't really want to make a video that stars me talking about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And to break dentists of that has been a challenge for sure. That's one of the most challenging things, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to talk about this. You want people in your community to know this is why you do this is what sets you apart. This is it. And so it's just been an amazing thing to create something that in your own community, we will find someone that lives in your area and needs your help. And then you just have to donate your time, and you don't have to travel. Patient doesn't have to travel. It's all done right there. And we ask dentists to do one a year. One case a year is all we really ask to do. And they join our network. We call it the Tooth Fairy Army, which I like a lot.
That's cool.
I came up with that. I'm pretty proud of that. We got T-shirts. We got stickers. When you join the Tooth Fairy Army, it's pretty exciting. And so to be able to offer that, and one of the things that was most amazing when I came up with this, started to evolve, was that there's nothing really like this that exists. It's really difficult to find something that you can just sign up for, and we will deliver people in need to you. And that all you have to do is just be willing to use your skills that you've acquired over your years of being a dentist and use them for somebody who needs your help, who will never be able to afford what they need. And then the benefits of that come afterwards with all the friends and family and people. I mean, you win cheerleaders doing this kind of work. A lot of them.
A lot, I bet. So tell me, I mean, this is just me thinking like an entrepreneur and a logistics type person, an operations geek. What does the logistics of that look like? So if I was to reach out to you and I still had practices and I said, I want to do a case this year. You've probably never been to Prescott, Arizona. What are your contacts in Prescott? How do you line us up with local patients that are in need?
Yeah. So that's a really good question. One of the ways, so we have an archive of thousands of nominations. So we require that people nominate somebody else. You are not allowed to self-nominate at this point.
Oh,
and the reason
interesting.
for that is to create, as dentists, I think most of your listeners are dentists. If you are a dentist or in the dental field, man, you've heard a sob story, and you've been fooled by a sob story, probably.
Indeed.
And so, as a dentist, coming from that dental way of thinking and being, in the trenches doing dentistry with everybody, along with all the other dentists out there listening, I wanted someone else to vouch for every single patient that we have.
Yep.
So a mother, a coworker, a friend, a neighbor, I want someone else to tell me, my son is a recovering addict and his teeth are the only scars remaining of what his life used to be. If he could get his teeth worked on and fixed, he's already got every single aspect of his life turned around. These are the people we're looking for, right? And I want mom to vouch for that. Now, that doesn't mean it's always a perfect fit, perfect patient, but it does, we believe, in our experience, it increases the probability that this person is deserving of what you are giving, because what you are giving is huge. I mean, it is huge, this gift that you're giving. You're changing lives. So we get these nominations that come in. We have friends of the organization. We had Steve-O we've done some cases with Steve-O and done some cases for him and some of the members of his audience. And he's partnered with us on a few cases. And Dr. Drew, friends with Dr. Drew, and I've been on his podcast. We've swapped appearances before. And we have some heavy hitters that just believe in what we're doing. And when they post for us, we get thousands of nominations. And they're happy to do that for us to help as many people as possible. So we have an archive, I think, in definitely every single major metropolitan area in the United States. We have only had one situation where we've struggled to find someone. I think it was somewhere in like Bismarck, North Dakota, or South Dakota. Is that South Dakota? It wasn't even in Bismarck. It was like 90 minutes north. It was far away. But most of the time we can find someone in your area. Also, using our social media machine that we have, I'll go on and make a post to my 200,000 followers that we're looking for someone who needs help in Atlanta, Georgia, or Chicago. We got dentists ready and willing to go. We need someone right now. Go to the halodentalnetwork.org website and you can fill out a form to nominate somebody. We need fresh applications, fresh nominations.
That's cool.
So we've always been able to get really fresh nominations. And then what we do is we broker an initial visit. So all that the dentist agrees to and all that the patient is told is that they're in the final selection stage of being selected. But it is absolutely the dentist's gift to give. It's not Halo's. I don't make that decision at all. So I hand it off to you, Dr. Costas, to meet this person for the first time. You do your initial exam, take some x-rays, do your evaluation just like you normally would on any other new patient exam you'd ever do. And at the end of that exam, you make a decision. And your decision is either to give that away or to say, thank you. I've seen what I need to see. I need a few days to think about this. And if there's anything, there have been like personality conflicts sometimes.
Sure.
It's very rare. But most of the time in that initial visit, dentists are just floored with the individual that we've given them, and they're happy to offer that gift. But it is the dentist who has to say, I'm going to give this to you. And then from there, we do some treatment planning evaluations with the dentist to make sure they are getting all the supplies that they will need. So I need 6 implants, or we're going to do 7 crowns and 4 root canals, or whatever that it is. We work with them directly to figure out what their treatment plan will require. And then we deliver those materials and resources that they need, so that all they need to do is, do the work. And then every dentist agrees to do cleanings on the patient twice a year forever, for life.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So it's important to us that these people are taken care of long term, which is why it's community based. It's a member of the community going to a dentist in their own community, no traveling required. So it's not a big deal. And most dentists are actually pretty excited that they'll come back every 6 months to keep an eye on their work and make sure that that patient is taken care of. It really is an investment for both the dentist and the patient, just to make sure that we are doing a good job taking care of people. If you work 10 years and you did 10 cases, you'd have 10 people who get cleanings once a year for free. And that just has never been an issue at all for any dentist. In fact, most of them are really happy that we put that stipulation in there.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what goes into your selection process for the nominees? Is there anything that would eliminate somebody from the potential pool of recipients?
Yeah. So, we'll take any nomination, but the nominations are then sent. So if Mark Costas wants to do a case for the Halo Dental Network and you're in Prescott, Arizona, we're going to look for Prescott nominations. I might send you 5 of them that a member of our team has kind of gone through. And essentially you'll choose the person. You'll read over the 5. Maybe it's a single mom. Maybe it's a recovering addict. Maybe it's a veteran. Maybe it's for someone, one of these cases inspires you. You're going to read this nomination, which are very touching. These nominations are, this is why my brother deserves it. This is why my father really needs it. My mom is in desperate need of it. You should pick my mom, and here's why. And so these tug at your heartstrings, and sometimes it can be difficult. And we've had dentists actually choose multiple recipients. They've decided to do more than one case because they've been so inspired to do so. But as far as things that would eliminate, the only real thing that I can think of is personality conflicts. Mm-hmm. No behavioral things, no showing.
Yeah.
Canceling without, we'll get to someone else in a snap. We will give that away. We have a contract that patients sign that they understand if they no show or cancel, they will be looked over and someone else will take their spot. We take this gift super serious.
Yep.
And our patients need to too. And so we have a conversation. There's a whole back end of this where we're having a conversation with the patients, understanding canceling visits may have been something you have been used to doing in the past, but that is not going to be the case going forward, or you will simply not be a recipient anymore.
That's cool.
So as far as anything that like maybe complicated medical history, possibly, we had one case that took us 3 years to complete due to COVID issues and heart issues and you really compromised medical situation that took a long time just to get through till we could get one of our docs in Portland just finished it like last month and started it like 3 years ago.
Wow.
So there have been some cases that have been just really difficult to get through. But we worked through that. And I tell you, it's all rewarding. It's all amazing. Sometimes it's those longer ones that make you feel really good about actually finishing up and sticking with it and helping this person out. And I hope I answered that question.
No, very good. Very good. Do you have any full-time people working the network? Or is this all volunteers?
We have a team of 3
okay.
right now. And, what's interesting is that we feel like our expansion ability is limited to how many full-time, how many hours we can put into the logistics, because it's a lot of logistics.
Yeah.
To broker the relationship between the patient, the doctor's office, the doctor, him or herself, the companies that donate the product to us, and making sure we keep everything organized. It's a full-time job for a lot of people. And if 100 dentists applied tomorrow, we would have to create a waiting list. We wouldn't be able to manage all that. So we're always expanding and looking for volunteers. Always looking for volunteers because we have enough dentists already that volunteer, and they come back every year. So our snowball effect is getting bigger and bigger. Every year we have these dentists coming back, and then we're getting more dentists on board. And it's just been awesome because dentists don't have to go anywhere. They love it. It's fantastic. You get to do free work for someone in need. Dentists are always worried about choosing the right person. It's a real fear. They want to do it, but they don't want to do it for someone unless they feel like it's going to be well received.
Well received, and they're well deserved. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well deserved. They want an individual who deserves it. It's just so hard to find that. It's just so hard to know, listening to an individual one-on-one, what they're telling you versus what the actual story is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so having someone else refer them or nominate them on their behalf, it help. And then we have people that get nominated by like 7 or 8 individuals, like 7 or 8 unique people nominate one person. And that's always like, we should pay attention to who this person is. Yeah. Why do they have so many people who are telling me that they're deserving of this? And those are some of the funnest cases for sure.
Share some statistics, Brady. Where are you with the number of patients served per year now?
Yeah, with our small team, we did just shy of 50 cases in 2022. Cool. We hope to surpass that in 2023. So that means 50 cases means 50 docs. It's probably more like 40 docs. Some of them are doing multiple cases. Some of the docs have chosen to do 2 or 3 cases a year. I do one every quarter. About 3 months, I'll do one. I'll dig in and do one. Each case, roughly about $50,000 cases. Most of these cases are catastrophic. So I would say 80% of what we do is full mouth extraction, all on 4 type of scenario. In fact, it's probably not all on 4. More accurately put, it's locator abutment supported overdentures. Is what we're doing a lot of with these types of cases. We use some full mouth restorations, but this all depends on what the dentist brings to the table. If the dentist, we try to work. We also vet the dentists, right? So the dentist, I got to know what your abilities are. So I'll usually have a phone call personally with every single dentist that comes into our network, and just ask them, how do you feel about surgery? How do you feel about implants? How do you feel about root canals? How do you feel about dentures? How do you feel about, overdentures? And we work together on a treatment plan that makes a lot of sense, trying to do something that's as cost effective as we can, but also impactful. So most of our cases are implant supported overdentures. So what is that? It's a couple $1 million, $2.5 million, roughly $2.5 million in free dentistry done last year with our small little team. We're very proud of that. I know there are organizations that do a lot more numbers wise, but we are a small group and we are planning on growing tremendously, especially this year.
Amazing stuff. What's your, I can imagine, but what's your topic going to be during your Thrive Talk in Vegas in May when I get to see you?
So I have 2 things. I got to be careful about what I say. So I can't say opening. I am also going to be on stage before their main entertainment comedian act. So I will be performing. I don't know if your audience knows this, but I do parody videos, dental themed parody videos, and I will be performing one of those songs. They asked me to be funny. They asked me to come there and be funny, Mark. So the funniest thing I could think of was insurance reimbursement rates. So I wrote a song about insurance reimbursement rates. Awesome. And I'll be performing that at Thrive Live on Thursday night. In front of their main entertainment, the comedian that they've hired.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Last year was Jim Gaffigan, and this year they'll have someone different. I don't think they've announced it yet, but it will be awesome. They've told me, and it'll be great. It'll be worth your time to come out for sure. And then I'll be giving a 90-minute breakout, and during that is when I'll be going. It's the selfish act of giving. It's teaching dentists how to do charitable service, because what I've run into is that, there's a lot of naysayers about charitable work. I have encountered a lot of dentists who will say, I've tried it. It was the biggest nightmare. It turned into the biggest chore. I'll never do it again. And that's out there. And I believe I can break down the reasons of what the pitfalls are. Every single situation that I've ever talked to anybody about, I feel like I can go in there and be like, if it was done this way, I think you would have avoided this problem.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that's where I feel like I can lend some expertise in helping people understand there are ways to do charitable service that increase the probability of a good result, and there are ways that have a lower probability of giving you a good result. And so I want to be out there to help dentists have better results with their charitable service, because there are some that will share that they've had bad results and don't feel like they want to do it anymore. And I try to convince them that they're wrong.
Yeah. Because of my desire to take my nonprofit international and not necessarily your model. There's no wrong model, but I think
Correct.
that there's people that are in real need that don't have shoes, don't have electricity, and don't have, homes in third world countries that just didn't have the benefits that we do in first world countries. But I've had some people mention that I should probably focus my efforts towards Americans and not people in other countries. So that's one point of view, but I happen to believe, as a first generation American and somebody who is the child of immigrants, that there are great people all over the world, and nobody is more deserving in one country or another. So I've done lots and lots of charitable stuff inside the United States, and I think that there's lots of need outside of the United States as well.
What wouldn't it be great if we had 5 or 6 competitors who want to create charitable organizations in dentistry? Wouldn't that be it's one of the greatest things about doing, if people like this idea and they want to create their own and do their own spin on that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's no, like you said, there's no wrong way to do this. All I want is 100 competitors, people out there making their own charitable organization, and we just help out the world. There's people have their feelings of how charity should be done, and what works and what doesn't work, or what you feel strongly about. And like you said, there's no wrong answer. It's just about where you feel strongly about making the impact, and then going out and executing on it.
Awesome. So Brady, it would be awesome in our last couple minutes here before I let you go. Can you share your contact information? How do people get involved with Halo?
Yeah, so you can go to the halodentalnetwork.org. And if you want to donate your time and your skills as a dentist, there's a little form to fill out. It'll say, I think, join the Tooth Fairy Army. That's what that is. So
Awesome.
You're going to be part of the Tooth Fairy Army, whether you like it or not. That's just it. That's the name of it.
Okay.
You can also donate if you want to donate money. You can do it there as well. We do have merchandise. I mentioned that before. I actually didn't plug the merchandise. Thank you for reminding me.
Merch.
So we have a website called bigdocenergy.org. Okay, Big Doc is DOC, Big Doc Energy. You can buy we made a 2023 calendar, all DDS, all male DDS calendar called Big Doc Energy.
Oh my gosh.
That's for 2023. The price has gone down now, so you guys can get a steal of a deal at $15. 100% of the proceeds go to the Halo Dental Network. You can find all floss merchandise, thongs, and T-shirts on that website as well. That's bigdocenergy.org. 100% of anything you spend there goes to the Halo Dental Network and helps us tremendously. And we have one of our team members is just working on merchandise. He just constantly comes up with new merchandise ideas with me. It's fantastic. Mark, this is my official invitation to you to be part of the Big Doc Energy Calendar 2024.
Okay. Whatever you need me to do to help out the cause, I'm willing to do.
Well,
I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to sample your merch.
Showing off your bicep.
Okay.
You don't have to go shirtless, but I will require sleeveless at the bare minimum.
Okay. Tank top it is.
Love to get you on the 2024 calendar.
Tank top it is.
But that's how you can get also Dr. Brady Smith on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place. I'm easy to get a hold of. So if you have any questions about Halo, or if it's not about Halo, even you have to join the Halo Dental Network. If you just want to talk about charitable service and how to best do it, I am open to that conversation 100% of the time, all day, every day.
Amazing. Well, hey, man, it's been way too long. Thank you for interacting with me on social media. It's super generous with comments and likes and hearts and all that stuff that goes along with Instagram and all the other stuff. Congratulations on all of your success on social media. And I really, really look up to you and everything you've been able to accomplish in the world of charitable dentistry. And I can't wait to hang out with you at the Bellagio at the Thrive event.
Yeah. I'm excited that you're coming. I did not know that. So yes. I'll see you there, man. It'll be fun.
For sure. All right, buddy. You have a great day, and we will talk soon.
Right back at you. Thanks, Mark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Brady Smith.